nsabe mu lulimi
omugenyi
nsabe mu lulimi ki
bwona lwoyogera zonna zitegeera
ennimi zonna zitegeera bwe naasaba mu Luwarabu naalutegeera
nja kulutegeera mmanyi kitaawe wange abeera wano Abudu Lubega asuula wano yanzaala ne mwana we musomesa waffe mu Quran ale bw'oba nga oyagala kumbuzako ogamba nti salaamu alaikum
wa alaikum salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakat. Mbanirizaako ku show abalungi abatulaba Professor aguddewo ne salaamu yonna gye musinziira okubanga mutulaba tukyaliddeko Professor Dr. George Kanyeihamba abamu bamuyita Uncle George gwe tulina lunaku lwaleero era nga tuzze tutunuulire embeera eri mu ggwanga Uganda embeera eriwo ey'okubeera nti olukiiko olufuzi oba Parliament y'eggwanga Uganda yaviiriddwako speaker oba omukubiriza ow'oku ntikko. So embeera eriwo kwe kubeera nti ababaka ab'enjawulo mu bibiina eby'enjawulo oba political parties ez'enjawulo bali mu keetalo okulaba nga bateekayo abanaabakiikirira mu kalulu ak'okukubwa sabbiiti eno ng'eggwako okulonda speaker ne deputy speaker. So tumukyalidde mu biti bingi, tumukyalidde nga omu ku ba senior citizen b'eggwanga Uganda, tumukyalidde nga omu ku bannamateeka abali celebrated, tumukyalidde nti y'omu ku baali abasaale mu kulaba nga bakola ssemateeka wa 1995 Uganda kwetambulira kati. Bwe kiri Professor?
Oli mutuufu, yes.
Mbinyonyodde bulungi?
Obinyonyo bulungi.
Thank you so much. Nja kusaba osooka obuuze ku batulaba.
Mwe abatulaba n'abatuwulira mbalamukiza nnyo Katonda abakuume.
Amina. Tweyanza nnyo tweyanzege. Professor, tujja kutandika n'obubaka bwo biki ebyo ebyenjawulo by'oyinza okunnyonnyola abatulaba ebweru eyo by'obadde ojjukira ku mugenzi w'ekitiibwa Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Oulanyah.
Omugenzi Speaker Jacob Oulanyah abadde mukwano gwange. Ekyokulabirako ekitabo kye mpuze kuwandiika bakiyita Evolution of Constitutional Law Government, rather constitutional law, evolution of constitutional law governance, kiri mu maduuka gonna. Bwe twasibanga tukiteekamu amaanyi n'amuyita n'abeera omugenyi mukulu n'atuwayo amagezi ngajjukira nnyo ag'okwegatta n'okutasololamu mu nganda mu ddiini oba mu bibiina. Omanyi yasooka ng'ali memba wa UPC naye yakivamu n'agenda mu movement. Ate bwe yagenda mu movement ng'agenda mu parliament n'agambira bonna nti nze ndi wano kuba abantu bonna, tiswagala kukyusamu oyo Muganda oba Mukiga oba kiba Mukyoli, nze ndi muntu wa boona. Yakyogera ate n'akiteeka mu nkola. Bwe yali nga akulembera parliament byonna bye yali ng'akola abantu basanuka, tewali ludda lumu, tewali ludda lulala. Ate bwe n'amuyita ekitabo kyange ekyo kiwakanisa bimu bya movement eyakola. Bwe yali ngali movement ate muntu mukulu akulembera Northern Region, naye yajja yabeera ku mukolo ogwo n'embabazi bwe yali ne Maawu nga bajja kutendeka ekitabo kino. kale abadde musajja mukugu nnyo abadde musajja tumwetaaga nka ba Uganda buli lunaku abadde akyali muto abo mu byobufuzi olinga omwana muto
obeera okyali thank you Professor njagala tutunuulire Buchanga Lubanga lwa Mindi, the first of its kind. For the first time, Uganda yensi esoso okufiirwa speaker ng'ali mu ntebe. Kino kitegeeza ki eri ebyobufuzi bya Uganda, kitegeeza ki n'entebe y'obwa speaker?
Kyensooka nakyo njagala ba Uganda bonna bamanye tewaliwo buzibu kubanga ekintu ekyo twakiteeka mu ssemateeka yaffe eya 1995 kozi
yes
twakirowoozako nti tusinga omukulu w'eggwanga pulezidenti afa wabawo ki ffenna ne tukkiriza nti pulezidenti bw'aba ng'afudde vice president
amuddira mu bigere
amuddiramu abonaawo naye tetwayagala kibeere bwe kityo ne sipiika twagamba nti singa sipiika afa mu nnaku nga 5 balonde olw'okumuddiramu deputy sipiika tajja kuba sipiika kale kyolaba nti olwaleero pulezidenti yagambye nti ab'omu kibiina kye baagala kwesimba nga sipiika bateya amanya gabo olwaleero omanyi n'omutumbi gwa Jacob tegunaba kutuuka mu nsi naye tutandise kuteekako omumukaayi
awenyini Professor
Kanyeihamba weekend bajja kulonda sipiika omulala yalijjawo bwe tukola nankani okuzika nankani Jacob sipiika omupya yaja kuba ng'abeerawo.
Professor njagala tutunuulire abantu out there bavudde ne ba criticizing ekintu ekyo otunnyonnyodde because ekirungi kiri nti gw'omu kubaakola constitution yeno
ekyo kituufu
weebale nnyo naye abantu ebweru bye bavuddeyo ne bacriticinga ne bagamba nti tebalinze na muntu mulambo gwe kutuuka mu ggwanga omusajja tannaba nakuziikibwa amangu ago muteeseteese preparations zikolebwe balonde
simanyi bw'oli musiraamu
yesebo
nze ndi mukristaayo mukama waffe yesu
kristo omwana wa katonda omulamu
yagamba nti omuntu bw'afa mulabirire abakyawulidde tolaba omuntu ng'afudde yafudde
ewamwe kiri nti omuntu bw'afa mufe ku balamu obuli mu muleke
sipiika abadde mukwano gwange nnyo nga mweyagala naye takyali wano tewali wano agenze mugulu kale lwaki mufa ku muntu agenze ne muleka abapya bagenda
abakyali abalamu
abo balimba bagamba nga tetwasobya terebwe twasobya twabirowoozako nnyo.
Professor, lwaki temwakiwaayo nga wiiki 2 lwaki temwakola akawaayiro ne mukiwa provision nti after 2 weeks
weeks 2
oba omwezi
olumala ja kubeera wano bwe badde ukiddemu
Extra digest bugobansonga kwe tuli proudly sponsored by Posh Properties Limited abasangibwa Bukota batunda ennyumba enzimbire ddala ate nga banywanyi baffe aba Roast Coffee Academy batendeka baristas bakutendeka okukola sandwich burgers ne crepes basangibwa onajja nankumbi kuseera oba ku Alwada Mall Airport Road UAE Abu Dhabi tukyaliddeko Professor Dr. George Kanyeihamba nga yaliko omulamuzi munamateeka omugundiivu ate nga alwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu
nana minisita wa justice n'atone geno
byonna ebyo ebitiibwa bansonyiwe mbadde mbyerabidde anti ebitiibwa byo bingi Uncle George
ekyo kimala
kale so Professor njagala tutunuulire olunaku olwaleero luno mwakola akawaayiro nga mulaga nti pulezidenti bw'aba avudde mu bulamu bw'ensi omumyuka we amuddiramu mu bigere kyokka ate bwe kyatuuka ku kulonda sipiika oba omukubiriza w'olukiiko olukulu paalamenti ne mulaga nti sipiika bw'aba avudde mu bulamu bw'ensi omumyuka we oba depute we tasobola muddira mu bigere ekintu ekyo kibuzaabuziza nnyo bannayuganda
tekibuzabuza Uganda kaba kitegere bulungi pulezidenti abantu bonna bamulonda
akubwako kalulu
ye yalonda omumyuka oyo deputy rather vice president afugayo akantu katono nga tukola arrangements z'okulonda omulala ffe tumulonda naye obwa sipiika bulondwa ekibiina kimu ekifuga
ekiri mu buyinza
ate bwe kimulonda kyekimu kyekironda nankani deputy sipiika kale twalaba nti tekisoboka ekibiina kimu kitwaliko pulezidenti bw'afa ate otemoyo yalondwa ekibiina kimu abeere mukulu w'eggwanga netukigaana ndowooza twali batuufu twagamba nti sipiika omanyi muntu wakusatu mu bakulembeze ba Uganda
mu layini eyo
twagamba nti sipiika bw'avawo tuteekwa kulonda omulala awo naawo tekyetaagibwa weeks na weeks za campaign tekyetaagibwa esente nyingi twagamba ekibiina ekifuga buli MP wa parliament akkirizibwa kuyimirira ka sipiika naye tumanyi mu practical banankani ekibiina ekifuga kyebaagala yaze kubeera sipiika olaba Museveni olwaleero yayogedde ate ndowooza mwamuwulidde yagambye nti mukwano gwange ate sipiika afudde nyagala omonge abamunoose ne onene abamu east badde ndowooza abamu nenankani onene nawe musajja we biyimirire kale agamba nti yabadde ayogera ma onene n'agamba nanyagadde emwe aba Northern Region mumpa magezi tuteyane olaba ayagala nti omuntu ayali ng'atamu ekitiibwa olanya ate nga n'abanoosi bamwagala Museveni yandibali nga ayagala oyo.
Okay, Professor, njagala tutunuulire olunaku olwaleero ensi yonna ng'ekyali mu kukungubaga. Waliwo era ebibuuzo sitiru ebyebuuzibwa. Ekibiina ekiri mu buyinza NRM kivuddeyo olunaku olwaleero luno nga kiyita mu kakiiko kaakyo ak'ebyokulonda akakulirwa era Professor omukugu nga ggwe oba kakensa nga ggwe ne bavaayo ne baggulawo abantu ab'enjawulo bataddemu okusaba kwabwe oba balaze okwagala kwabwe okwesimbawo. However, agamu ku ge twawuliddeko okuva mu kibiina ekya NRM kwe kubeera nti abantu abali mu kwesimbawo baweereddwa go ahead oba green light nti yes mwesimbewo wadde nga temulekulidde ku bifo bye muliko. Ekyo kikola kitya ggwe ng'amanyi amateeka nti omuntu agenda contestinga in a certain office as well as that person abadde alina office gy'atuulamu bagyalimu naye talekulidde mu office eno but
mu mateeka twateekamu abantu babiri tebayinza kukompitinga obwa sipiika nankani oyo ali minisita oba vice president naye abantu abalala ba members ba parliament bakkirizibwa kuyimirira.
Ababiri vice president ne minister be batakkirizibwa
abo tebakkiriza. Bw'oba oli minisita oyagala obeere sipiika olusigninga
ku bwa minisita
osooka no resigning bwe twakiteekamu.
Okay. Waliwo omwami deputy attorney general avuddeyo naye n'ateekamu okusaba kwe nga ayagala kwesimbawo.
Ani oyo?
Jackson Kafuzi. Ataddemu empapula ze nga ayagala era bamunominatinze.
Ajja kusooka he's attorney general.
Deputy attorney general.
Ajja kusooka buve ku attorney general. Resigning. Abeere ordinary MP. Akirizibwa kuyimirira naye tayinza kuyimirira nga kyali attorney general. Takirizibwa.
Okay, njagala tutunuulire waliwo abantu abadde ebweru eyo nga beebuuza nti is it a must nti someone to stand for that position or that post ateekwa okuba nga lawyer, is it a must?
No. Omanya twakafuna kuba speaker nga tibaali lawyer.
Bebaliwo abo.
Twatandika n'ekigongo. Kigongo teyali lawyer. Ono ayakola naye nga mu kifo kya speaker baali omukyala yali mukyala ali doctor naye nabeera speaker teyalina obugizi bw'amateeka. Toteekwa kubeera amateeka kiyamba ng'oba okulira parliament naye amateeka tageesha doesn't insist on it.
Tuli ku extradigest mugoba nsonga tutunulira ensonga za ekifo ky'obwa speaker mu parliament era nga gwe tuli naye wano Professor Dr. George Kanyeihamba y'omu ku baali abasaale mu kukola ssemateeka kututambulira olunaku olwaleero luno era nga tuzze wano tutunuulire yakyogerako ki era etteeka ligamba ki n'ebigwa mu kkowe eryo. Njagala tutunulire Professor omugenzi Jacob Olanyi olunaku olwaleero bannayuganda bali ebweru eyo ababadde bamuwulira obuwulizi abamulaba obulabi abamulaba ku kyobwa speaker n'ebigwa mu kkowe eryo oyinza bannyonnyola nti alekedde ddibu ki ekibiina kya NRM, alese ddibu ki mu parliament, alese ddibu ki mu Northern Uganda gy'abadde ava, alese ddibu ki mu bantu mu bannamateeka oba ba land friends nga bwe mutaaminga?
Bonna b'ensi yonna mulimu ba Uganda ababadde bawulira enteesa ye ku parliament bonna basaliddwa nnyo ntafudde kubanga abadde aleeta omulembo nankani style y'amazima y'okubeera oje mu time nga muteesa essaawa zikyali abadde muntu ayagalwa abantu bonna abo bonna ababadde bamwagala nga bwali nga bwabadde bajja kusalirwa nnyo ntafudde.
Okujjanjabwa kwe okumutwala okujjanjabwa e Bulaaya kwaliko okusika omuguwa ng'abantu bannayuganda abawangalira emitala w'amayanja simanyi oba wabiraba bagezaako okwekalakasiza ku ddwaliro wabadde ajjanjabirwa. Bingi byayogerwa, ekintu ekyo oyinza kyogerako ki?
Nze kyenjagala twogereko katulinze lipoota y'aba doctors ababamukolako ebiyita postmortem abo tujja kwogera kituufu sijja kwogera bubala.
Professor, kyembadde mbuuzaawo kiri nti abantu bannayuganda beemulugunya nti lwaki abakungu batwalibwa ebweru okujjanjabwa ne batateekateeka health care ya wano nebeera nga etuukanye n'omutindo ogujjanjaba buli muntu yenna at all levels.
Amakya gano omwami Munini Mulera ekyo yakyogeddeko nakyewunyiza kiviira ku muntu kwegamba tuyinza kugenda bweru nga basawo ba Uganda ni tebakuwadde ebaluwa ekutwalayo sikufa ku government kama tutwala Kanyeihamba wachi ne bakuwa bakugana
so dwali no so recommending
kale aba recommending anti oranyagenze bweru beba manya ebyo bulwadde waliwo obunalinga ndwadde nerve breakdown, not breakdown but nervous collapse. Dr. wange yali omwami Silva Bahendeka. Abayuganda ne bampima tebamanya kyali kibi kye kiriwo. Yena recommending agenda oba India oba genda South Africa oba Bungereza kubanga wano tetumanyi kiriko. Nebyuma byaffe bye tulina tebamanyi kupima. Nengende Bungereza.
Abawonte bamanyi.
Obwe nagendayo kumpi myaka 8 bali nga tebamanyi.
Okay.
Nabagamba nti ebyuma byabwe ebisinga obungi bya second hand. Tubigula Eastern Europe oba Europe naye nga bikozesebwa. Bitulina wano. Ate abasawo bangi tetuna kubigiga ku byuma ebyo. Tetumanyi. Tuyinza kuba tuli abakugu banene naye tubimanyi bulungi. Kyeyava n'agamba Professor chuza yemu ogendeyo India oba South Africa oba UK. Nagenda UK kubanga family yange yeri. Ati ni banjajaba nemponya. Tolaba. So bebanga mwogera twashiba mutwale America. Obuuza basawo ki aba ba recommending atagenda America. Oba basobye bye tuvunana n'ensi government ya Uganda. Singa basawo tebagamba ntagendeyo. Government teyandisubize kumutwala. Bagendere ku advice y'abasawo. Okyetegedde.
Nkitegeera bulungi.
Ubayesebo.
Extra digest mugoba nsonga Sun Cargo Shipping Company basabaze mali from China to Mombasa basange ku Arua Park ekizimbe Fortune Plaza atenga Almeridian Ventures Limited yabasangibwa entinda nga wakava ku Hardware World bano bakutwala kuba kyeyo ekata bakakasibwa Ministry ya Gender, Labor and Social Development yabagamba ntya mukiriziddwa okunoonyeza banna Uganda emirimu ekata. Tuli ne Uncle George. Uncle George, njagala tutunulire kyemmanyi nti ebigenda maaso mu parliament obiraba
mbiraba
ababaka obagoberera
ebigenda bulungi
bitambula bulungi
ebitambula bulungi kati
dirwe byatambula bulungi
kunominga ba candidates abagala kubeera speaker na government ekyekoze kulabula ababwe nti namwe tujja kusiba ennaku zino olunaku luno ebyo ebigenda bituufu.
Okay, kirungi nnyo ekyo. Njagala tutunulire bw'otunuulira parliament ey'omulundi ogw'e11 the 11th parliament. Olowooza bantu ki boyinza okugamba nti basobola okuvaamu speaker omulungi asobola okukubiriza olukiiko olwo bulungi? Those few names you can name and say these ones can become
nominating alabuda abantu babiri bagwamagezi oba bagala kuyimirira. Omu ye deputy speaker omungi omulala mumanyi bulungi namukyalira kulimu onene bombi basaanidde kubeera speaker babusobola tewaliwo nsonga. Ate mpulidde nti waliwo abalala abagala kwesimba. Twogedde ku deputy attorney general ye bw'aba yagala kwetimba tasobola kujjako nti alekudde omulimu ogwo na resigning awo ayinza kwesimba naye tayinza kwesimba nga kyali attorney general. Abalala bempulidde Sekikubo alina obuzibu mu NRM kubanga oluusi lumu yabagemera nemuyamba nga nduze mu bwa justice ne tusinga omusango gwo bayinza kubanga tebaja kumusonyebwa. Omulala wempulidde abadaani abadde katuutu naye alinayo obuzibuzibu. Oyo asobola obwa sipiika. Nankani embeera ya Ssekikubo ndowooza nze tabusobola.
Lwaki tabusobola?
Kubanga aleekaana nnyo, akwata obusungu, ayinza kuyomba n'aba MPs n'aba ministers. Ekyo tekiteebwako ekitiibwa palamenti ya Uganda. Ate ekyokubiri, abasinga obungi mu kibiina kye kya NRM bamulaba ng'omuntu eyabagomera. Ekyo
omuntu yalirowoozezza nti okubeera sipiika kyetaaga omuntu nga w'amaanyi okukakkanya ba MP abo.
Nga nanka bw'abadde nga Oulanya abadde abanye musajja wa mugugu w'amaanyi akwaakinga na jokes n'abantu ne basanyuka mu mbazi zonna. Twetaaga ng'oyo.
Professor, okuva lwe mwabaga ssemateeka ono kwe tutambulira olwaleero paka wano we tukusangidde, osobola okutureetingirayo sipiika gw'olaba nti mu butuufu yali wanjawulo nnyo mu paalamenti zino zonna ze tuze tubeera nazo, ng'ogamba nti honestly speaking such and such a speaker was outstanding mu mirimu gye mu paalamenti y'eggwanga Uganda?
Kujjako akantu kamu. Sipiika Kadaga yali muntu mulungi nnyo, yakola omulimu. Kenamugaya kukakamu bwe baali nga wakana ne Oulanya bagenda ewa President Museveni aje mu ekyo tekituuka kubanga n'abayigiriza naye nga nyigiriza abantu ba parliament nga mbagamba the first speaker yali ng'ava mu Commonwealth of England. King we Bungereza namutiisatiisa namugamba yogera abantu ababadde banvuma wano mu parliament. Omanyi kye yamudamu?
Simanyi.
Yamugamba nti sirina maaso g'okulaba oba amatu g'okuwulira kujjako mu parliament enyogeredde. I have neither the eyes nor ears to hear except as directed by parliament. Namugana a despot king yafumba namuleka. Kale tutuuse wano tulina ba speaker twatandika n'ekigongo. Kigongo yakola bulungi naye twali tumanyi nti Kigongo na movement kimu president kyayagala naffe tekyagala kyakoleramu. Bwe twafuna free parliament twafuna Wakabubulo, James Wakabulo yakola bulungi, yali munyamateeka ate muntu alaba nti justice egenze mu maaso mu parliament. Bwe yavamu twafuna Francis Ayume
the late
Ayume saga kumwogeraho bingi naye yafa mu accident. Awo bwe baba twafuna Sekande yakola omulimu ekyo kyomwogerako kyokka yakola omulimu. Kale netufuna Kadaga. Kadaga yakola mulimu mulungi nnyo. Yali abantu nga bamutamu ekitiibwa nga sipiika. Umugugu yagweza kati ali minister. Deputy
Prime Minister.
Yeah, and I don't think she wants to come back. So now we have the most effective and the most rather famous speaker. That was Jacob Olanya, who has departed so early.
Professor, someone out there would say nti oli mu kwogera birungi ku mugenzi because in our African setting abafu tebaboogerako bubi.
I am going to give you a book here called Kanyeihamba Foundation Handbook.
Yeah.
Read it first, and when you finish, come back, and then you answer that question yourself.
After reading the book,
people who say that they don't know me, but read that book. There is a book called Kanyeihamba the Incredible. People who have said good things about me, including Museveni, Kanyeihamba, they include other people I'm not going to mention here because of their status. Those who say that, tell them you don't know the man. Okay?
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Tuli ne Professor Kanyeihamba tutunulira Parliament saawa eno terina speaker okutuusa nga bamaze okulonda speaker era mu bbanga eritali lyawala
Kulwokutaano ennaku nga 3.
Yes, mu bbanga eritali lyawala nnyo bagenda kubanga balonda speaker. Professor, njagala otuwe evaluation yo ng'otutunulire performance ya Parliament eno okuviira la Parliament zetuzze tubeera nazo n'okutuusa olwaleero. Parliament eno the 11th Parliament so fate natambula bbanga ddene naye njagala ogituratingire. Rate this Parliament, the 11th Parliament.
It is
in terms of legislating.
It has been a rubber stamp. The only shining example in the 11th Parliament has been Jacob Olanya. There are a few notable individuals, people like the MP for Ntungamo, who is NRM, the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, Wakana Rugunda, did his best. People like Semuju,
Chira.
Yes.
Chira municipality.
Segona.
Bokoto.
Yes, they have done a bit. But the only outshining example of them all has been the speaker, the late speaker, Jacob Olanya, and he was the only one in the Parliament doing what is expected to be done.
Professor, out there, abantu bayinza okuchallenginga your answer.
I wish they would challenge me.
It is.
You see, as a former academic, we thrive on criticism. Other people hate the criticism.
So someone would come out and say, you are praising someone ataweza mirundi 5.
Haven't I mentioned Segona? Haven't I mentioned Chigongo? Are they dead?
They are alive.
Thank you.
Then someone
whoever is criticizing me on that basis would be in the wrong, not me.
Because someone would say, Professor, oli mu kutugamba about the late speaker, nete yawezayo mirundi wa 5 mu house.
Do you know?
So how would you rate that person?
Do you know the greatest leader in the whole world?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
He was only with us for 3 years as an adult. And yet, his word and his preaching has encompassed the whole world forever and ever and for a long time. So the length you spend in the office does not matter about your performance and your impact you leave in this world. Jesus is a good example.
Wow.
The best president we ever had.
In Uganda?
In Africa.
Oh, in Africa.
Is Nelson Mandela.
Of South Africa.
He only ruled 1 term. You ask anybody in Africa, who is the shining example of the president we ever had? It is Mandela.
Only one term.
Yes. So I can tell you, not because he's dead, not because he was my friend, but Jacob Oulanyah, his name will live in history. One thing he achieved now is to make sure that Parliament starts on time. That any meeting, committee he chairs, they start on time. I hope they will emulate that.
Time management.
Yes, time management. So the new speaker will have learned from Oulanyah time management.
Professor, bannayuganda bali mu kutulaba kati mu Uganda ne mu diaspora oyinza bakakasa otya era kubakoma moti oba kuba encouraging otya to still basigale nga bakyalwelayinga ku parliament olukiiko olufuzi olw'eggwanga Uganda. Abantu ebweru eyo bwe tusanga bagamba nti parliament baggwamu essuubi.
Nange nakigambye.
Naawe waggwamu essuubi?
Nagamba nti parliament eno, government eno, is the worst we have ever had.
Wanji?
As far as fighting corruption is concerned.
This parliament or government?
Both.
Both?
Yes. Only the other day, the manager of Mulago Hospital was sent to jail.
Amawulire wagalaba?
Yes. Was sent to jail for corruption. The minister who is in charge of the police, you read my brief, Kahindo Safiri. He's a thief. He stole my money.
Who?
Kahindo Safiri. The minister who is in charge of the police today. Museveni knows it.
Did what?
He stole my money, 10 million check. Everybody is asking. The check was given to me to go to India for assistance, which I got, which I couldn't get in Uganda. And Kahindo Safiri was Minister of Justice. So they said, your former minister, and he's a relative of mine, by the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we share one great-grandfather called Katuru.
Your relative?
He's not a Munyankole. He's a Mchiga.
Like you?
Both of us were born in Chinawa, Chinchizi. My father took us to Rwanda, Kabade. For him, he went to Ankole. We are all immigrants. We are related by blood.
Wow, that is very
But
good.
he stole my money, 10 million shillings. Then when they questioned him, including his colleagues in government, he told them that I was sick, I was dying. And therefore I'm telling lies. But having said that, he returned the 10 million to my bank account. Ask the bank, Barclays.
So you got the money?
I got that money, but he owes me.
Ceases to be a thief.
He owes me 210 million. I was his lawyer, and he never paid a penny. He owes me 210 million.
Till now?
Till now.
Wow.
We are keeping quiet, but we are sitting on dynamites everywhere.
Did you try to go to courts of law?
I have a judgment against it. He admitted that he owes me 210 in fees, but he doesn't have money. That is on record.
Maybe he doesn't have money, like he
That
said.
he doesn't have money. Therefore, he can't pay me.
Now, what is the way forward?
I have written a letter to the president, and I'm sure he will solve this problem. Because if he doesn't, he's meeting with my other. I'm going to give you a booklet. The Defeat of President Museveni. It's a book I've published. And the last chapter, I am saying Museveni should be asked to retire from government in this term.
So you want him to retire?
Yes.
This should be his last term in office.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And the earlier the better in this term.
So you put that in a book?
Where is that book of mine?
Do you think he read that book?
You bring that book. What did it call? Where is Herbert? Bring me the book. The Defeat of President Museveni. I want to give it to him. And if you are brave enough, call me and interview it. Let me show you.
It's here.
The Defeat of President Museveni. Last chapter.
Do you think he read the book?
I sent him a copy, but I'm not in his house to know whether he read it.
Did he acknowledge receiving
I'm
the book?
sending that one. I'm sending another one which I'm going to give you. The women I have loved. Sure, he read that one because one of those women I have loved is Janet, his wife, and I put it there. Two other women I have loved is Kadaga.
Good.
And
it's here.
Bigombe. Yes.
Kanyeihamba, the women I have loved.
Yes.
Wow.
So Museveni is a man. He would like to know how I loved his wife. Wouldn't he?
He would. He would.
But to tell him first to read that book, he will be
Living
surprised.
Power. You want him to first read that one or this one?
That one.
You should first read
Because
this
it
one.
contains his wife
Oh.
and a daughter.
Which daughter did you include here?
Do you know Museveni's daughters?
I've never met them.
Then why do you want to know which, since you don't know them?
Professor.
She's called Patience.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Patience is the wife of Wabogo.
Oh, okay. So I want to read for the public just 1 or 2 lines from the last chapter you're talking about.
Let me show you. That would be good.
Or you're reading it yourself.
No, you are reading it.
Okay.
Because they think I'm lying. But where is the Museveni should retire? Where?
Tuli ku extra digest mugoba nsonga.
Even here, right? The unacceptable face of the NRM party. Look for it. Museveni. Read that one.
Professor.
Read it.
Hold on, just a minute. Professor. Olowooza ebintu bino anaabikiriza n'akola nga bwe wamugambye.
Bwe Buganda bamubulamu yabakiriza. Bwe bateerera Olanyi n'abantu abalala. Aba Museveni mu Baganda. Yali nga yikiriza. Thank you. Oba nga atusobeza tafuga bulungi tumugoba.
Okay.
You read my...
But there is where you just addressed him as Museveni. Allow me include President Museveni.
You do.
Is it fine?
Excuse me, look at the back. Is that who?
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem with Uganda. You jump to conclusion.
You know, I have to address him as president because he's the president.
But I am addressing him as president.
Wow, this is
the
very
defeat
good.
of President Museveni.
Oh, I thought you didn't address him as president.
You saw wrong there.
Wow. Okay, yeah, it's here.
Yes.
You addressed him as president.
Yes.
Because he's the sitting president.
He is the president.
Yes. President Museveni has indirectly but freely admitted that he lost the war on corruption.
That's the reason why I want him to retire. He lost the war on corruption. This was admitted by the IGG, by his former officer against corruption. It's been admitted by everybody that we have failed.
I continue. He confessed that under his rule, the police are the most corrupt institution in Uganda.
Those are his words. The most corrupt institution.
Yet, in the war against corruption, the police are the most an important weapon to use in that war.
Mm-hmm. And yet he said they are the most corrupt. How do you use a corrupt institution
To fight corruption. The heads of the two most important war battalions against corruption, the IGG and the Prime Minister, have freely admitted that their respective departments are severely crippled by corruption.
Mm-hmm.
They have therefore lost the war. This phenomenon applies equally to President's office, where President Museveni is the boss. Colonel Nakalema, the anti-corruption commander in the President's office, has spilled her frustrations in a television interview recently. This is therefore the end of President Museveni's agenda.
Yes.
He has truly lost the war. He has to go now.
Yes.
This was a bit bitter. To go now.
Excuse me. How old are you?
I'm 35.
After the next round,
Yeah.
in the middle of this term, Museveni will be 82. You want him to continue being president?
But Professor...
Do you still want him to be president at the age of 82? When the man I admired, Nelson Mandela, became in his late in 80, he retired voluntarily. For me, Museveni is like I am advising him to retire while the good is still going. You see?
Professor, I want to ask you something very small.
Please do.
You know, English is a bit funny.
Yes.
Some statements are a bit hard when you say he has to go now.
Yes. In this town. And they explain.
So immediately after the end of the term,
he goes. And the many NRM people believe that also. Although they don't say so. The difference between them and me, I say it. They just keep it on themselves.
Professor, you know, at times when we send information to people, or letters, or any kind of information, we make a follow-up to see whether these people received the information.
Yes.
Did you make a follow-up whether the president received this book? Did
I
you make a follow-up whether
I
the
even
president
sent
read
him
this?
a new books. They chased me away. How do you follow up things when you want to see your friend and the police send you away?
They
If you
chased
think
you
I
away.
am telling that, ask a man called, what is the name, this young man who is in charge of the youth on Kanyeihamba Foundation. I'll give you his number. I sent him there with books, with a complimentary letter. They were chased away. So he followed it up. But then you never knew you would talk to Kanyeihamba. I don't hide anything.
Yeah. Now, Professor.
So you can ask Solomon. With my driver went. They went to State House with my book, with a letter here. He was in Nakasero. And they were chased away. But I sent him books. He will read it. The women have laughed. Kanyeihamba Foundation, which is there. In the part of Africa, the unexpected happens. I sent that to him. So you, hello.
Yes, Professor.
You are a journalist.
Yeah.
You go make a appointment State House, and you let me know. Ask him, did you get Kanyeihamba book?
I will.
Oh, are you afraid of him?
I will.
Please do.
I will.
Good.
You know, at times, still, I'll go back to English. There are some statements where you refer that when someone gets old, that's when they become more useful.
I have never said that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have resigned. Would I?
No.
Voluntary.
Then still people say the more old wine gets, the more it becomes sweeter and
I am sweeter. They are right. I am sweeter. More courageous.
Good.
More in everything. That's why I have written those books you see. 35 books.
In Uganda they say nti obugezi obukulu obukadde magezi nti omuntu buli wakaddiwa.
I have met old people who are very stupid. Don't believe everything you hear me say today.
Professor, say it again. You've met what?
I've met old people who are stupid.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It is the first time I'm hearing such a statement.
I have. Because I lived younger than you. 82 years.
You've met what?
And people think I have the brains of a 30-year-old man.
You've met what?
I am 82. I have met old men who are stupid. And the younger ones
in Africa or in Europe?
No, here in Africa.
Hey.
And the younger ones who are stupid here.
Professor. No. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Then who should we trust?
Did I say all of them? Please don't put me in that category.
So you said in Africa, not in Europe.
I have met even worse one in Europe.
Oh my God.
I lived in Europe, worked in Europe. I met some foolish old men.
In Europe?
Yes. And even foolish here, younger men, whom I was teaching.
Were they blacks or whites?
No, they were all white. I was teaching white people when I was a lecturer in UK.
Basebo ne banyaba bali mu kutulaba tuli ne Uncle George, Professor Dr. George Kanyeihamba. Gwe tuli naye of course engero ezimu zijja kukyuka. With time tubadde tumanyi nti obukadde magezi ye professor agambye nti yasisinkana abamu.
Obukadde magezi naye some old people are stupid.
Oh.
Don't make generalizations. I don't.
Now, Professor, today
some women are fornicators, but my mama was not.
Wow.
So don't generalize, my friend.
Professor, today ku last gundi eno chapter eya President Museveni okugenda. Of course, tuze tulaba ebisanja ebyenjawulo, different terms of office. Nga abantu bagamba this is his last term. Ayino bweggwako president agenda kugenda, ayino bweggwako kizze kitambula on several occasions, term after term. Like you're claiming now, saying now that this should be his last term of office. Then
I am not saying it should be. It shall be. It shall be his last term. It shall be his last term.
According to the constitution?
No, according to the constitution and what I am reading in Uganda, it will be his last term. Because as I'm telling you, in the next term he will be over 80. Uganda is on average about 20-25. So if you elect him again, you are stupid. Yes.
The voters?
Yes. How do you elect somebody who has presided over the vast corruption in the country, who has provided over the country when there is the worst torture, including Zake, How do you elect a person whose son may be bidding for the same post? And he has said, I will not allow my son to resign. Why shouldn't he allow his son to resign? These are military matters. You would elect him again. Then if you were among those who are going to elect Museveni, I will put you among those stupid old people and the younger people. Yes, if you do. If you ever come up and they say you are going to elect Museveni, I will put them among those who are stupid.
Professor, wasembayo dio kulonda. Wali olonzeeko?
Yes.
Wasembayo
One time I elected Museveni and Museveni again. The other, the last election, we were not allowed to vote here. The materials didn't come here until 4 o'clock, and we went home. So I didn't vote. This last time, I voted Kyagulanyi.
Okay.
I did. You say I never hide anything. I never fear anything except God. So take it from me.
So,
I went here. My polling station was here in Katusi. I went there and voted Kyagulanyi. I also voted the Nupe MP for our local area. She passed through. And Kyagulanyi passed through in Buganda. You see, you people, you don't calculate. You think Buganda now is going to turn all around and vote Museveni 82-year-old. Don't you calculate? Don't you use intelligence?
Professor, this President Museveni you're talking about,
Yes. By the way, he's my friend.
Well, that is very great.
I
suspected
so. You
so.
can see the picture there, entertaining me and my family.
Is that Uganda or UK?
There. Uganda here. I was at State House. That's where he called me.
You were still a young man, eh? So, Professor, this very gentleman we're talking about, the President.
President Museveni.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. We had yakusobozesa okufuna akasimo ka buli mwezi. Ufuna akasente ko mukajja mu budde.
I get my pension.
Yeah, mu budde on time.
Yeah, I get it on time. But it is managed by the judiciary.
But and
at one time, I wrote an article about 10 years ago and to say, don't kneel to Museveni. You don't owe him anything. If he appoints you judge or ambassador, that is his constitutional responsibility. If we were to invite judges or to appoint judges, we would impeach him for failing his duty. So why do you worship him or say this? Because he appointed you.
Professor, we heard that he had to speed up the process so that you get your money on time.
That's what?
He helped so much in speeding up the process.
Yeah, for me, I get my money on time. The judiciary is very efficient.
Courtesy of him?
Courtesy of the judiciary, I am telling you.
Not the president?
The president doesn't handle money. He's the president of this country. He's got so many responsibilities.
But we had
he doesn't run the judiciary. He doesn't run the police. He doesn't run anything except the presidency.
We heard that he wrote a letter and addressed it to the judiciary.
Saying
that
what?
work upon the professor effectively.
Excuse me, that is what we call pressure. He's allowed to put pressure on anybody. You man, you are very interesting. If I advise you that please interview such a man, I am only advising you. Am I doing it? No.
No,
you can refuse.
But of course, teri ayinza kujemera president.
Wanji?
Abantu tebasa kujemera president. Wawandike ebbaluwa nti Professor mukoleko. No one can refuse.
Manya, you young man, you are too young. You don't even remember the two times I offered to resign and he changed the policy. If these MPs were brave, and he brings a policy which you think is against the nation, you reject it. Whether you are his party or not. On 2 occasions, I rejected. And I offered to resign. But he knew my resignation would not please the nation. So in one of those cases, he changed his mind and went with me. In the other one, he showed me documents I hadn't seen, and I agreed with him that I was wrong to offer to resign. But do you have that kind of MP in parliament who behaves like Kanyeihamba?
I've not had time.
Mulenga, my former friend, was also a judge.
From Kenya.
But before he became a judge, he was Minister of Justice and Attorney General. And they wanted him to pass a law which would have been contrary to the rights of people. He refused. So he shuffled him and made him another minister of another place and appointed me instead. Similarly, I defied him when I realized what he was proposing was against national interest. That's why he shuffled me out. But I was still useful because he made me, he campaigned very hard for me to become a judge of the Supreme Court. Museveni. You people, you are young.
Okay, Professor, lastly, before we wind up this interview, oyizo tuwayoko ebintu bitaano ebirungi byoyinza okubanga oyogera ku President Museveni. 5 like this, just outlining bullets. Ta 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 ta.
First of all, by removing Milton Obote and Amin, Museveni's bravery saved this country from further chaos. The economic performance of the NRM has been outstanding. They have done good economic
since independence
procedure. But a young man, I thought you knew your facts. Museveni was not president before, rather since independence. You are asking me, what 5 things good?
Yeah.
Then those are one, since Museveni became in power. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So one, I have told you, he removed the terrible governments of Idi Amin
and
Obote. Although he is the worst corrupt government we ever had in Uganda. Thirdly, President Museveni organized this country in such a way that at least there is sanity in many of the things we do. Lastly, although it is a mixed feeling, President Museveni tolerates people like me.
You give him credit for that.
Yes, I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
In another regime, I would be in jail. But of course, having said that, the securities detained one of my directors, of Kanyeihamba Foundation director, Norman, who only said what other people have said, that the politics of the Komanyoko politics. But he was quoting, another man who said it.
So he was jailed?
He was jailed for reporting what had already been said. That was wrong. I am glad that through the efforts of his lawyers and others, he has been released on bail. Wow. And I hope he will never be in jail again.
Did you caution him never to use the statement again? As an elder?
Which one?
The other statement of
Then
politics.
You don't know me. I gave what he wrote the book a preface.
Professor.
He was jailed for 2 books. One was called, the one I mentioned, what was it? The Parading Lies and the Falsehoods. That one was prefaced by General Muntu, a former candidate, and a former general of our army. The second one he wrote was The Politics of Kumamayo, where he told me he was quoting Chairman Norbert Mao.
Chairman Mao.
So who do you think should be jailed? Norbert Mao or Norman, who simply reported what Norbert Mao said? This is where we have a problem of confusion. Who is who? Shouldn't Kanyeihamba and General Muntu be detained for writing prefaces to those books?
It's impossible. Professor, currently the president has not appointed the governor of Bank of Uganda.
No.
Still, we don't have the Minister for Justice. What is your take over that?
First of all, I think the Minister of Justice is frivolous. When I was in the government, I was both the Minister of Justice and Attorney General.
Yeah.
When Mulenga was there, he was both Minister of Justice and Attorney General. When Makubuya was there, he was Minister of Justice and Attorney General. And therefore, it is an innovation to separate the two. Rule tried to separate it when we came in the government. Remember, he had originally appointed the late Nabudere to be Minister of Justice and me Attorney General. I was still abroad. When I came, I refused to accept. I said, since Nabudere has already been appointed minister, let him take both portfolio minister and Attorney General, because that's how Uganda will have one thing. Rule said, I want in the office Attorney General, and you are the one who is the lawyer, Nabudere is a politician. So in that case, I appoint you Minister of Justice and Attorney General, and I will give a portfolio, another portfolio to Nabudere, which he did. You see, if you don't stand by your principles and you fear, you can never achieve anything. You are bully. Here I was foregoing an office. Nobody else would do it. I make you Attorney General, and Nabudere the minister. Other Ugandan who are not of my belief would have accepted easily, but I refused, because that's what I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the issue of the governor for Bank of Uganda? In the constitution, mwateka mwaka wairo nti aina kulondebwa ddi. After what period?
Well, that is a decision to be made by the president in consultation with the relevant ministry, Minister of Finance, Minister of Planning, and so forth. But you sometimes have a public official who is so unique that he is very hard to replace. Definitely, Dr. Ntebide is very hard to replace. And the president is right to delay a bit while he assesses the relevant candidates in case he makes a mistake. So that's when I commend the president
to take
for
time.
delaying. Yes. Secondly, Governor Ntebide had been very sick for a long time. He was hospitalized, he was treated at home, and I would say over well more than 1 year, he really didn't perform as governor, others did his work. But his presence was great. They knew he was there. And therefore they must do what he accepts and what he would approve. So his presence alone, even though he was not well, was tremendous. I hope you managed to read my piece of obituary, which I wrote about him. It was published in Monitor.
Yeah, Daily Monitor. Okay, Kale. Professor, thank you so much for your time.
You are welcome.
Hope to see you again.
And you are going to read that. How about give him the other one, Kanyeihamba Foundation.
It's there. Isn't it the one?
That is his. I want you to have yours.
I got mine. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Professor.
So I will see how long, whether you have a reading culture, and how much you come to me.
So you want me to read this one, The Defeat of President Museveni?
Yeah, they are very short.
Plus
And that's the one.
Kanyeihamba Foundation.
Yes, and if you have time, I'll give it to you. Read.
Let me first read these two.
Okay. Then you will come for more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kale.
Okay, thank you.
Webale nnyo obudde bwo.
Sinyo sebo.
Nkwagala nnyo.
Kujja wano kunkyalira. N'ebyoyogedde birungi.
Yes, sebo.
N'ebirala oyige nsubira wayizeko kamu bubiri. Kale sebo.
Kale, nkwagala nnyo Professor.
Gubale sebo.
Mukama Katonda akukuume.
Naawe akukuume.
Amina taata wange. Nja kuba nnyongera okunoonyaako.
Kale.
Insha Allah.
Nja kusanyuka kukulaba.
Kale, tetugenda kubanga tusukka wano. Tubadde ne Uncle George era nga tutunuulira of course nga ye munnamateeka omugundiivu abaabaga ssemateeka w'eggwanga Uganda. Tubanoonyaako batunnyonnyola.
By the way, nalina omulamuzi wa African Court yonna. Nali mu 11 abalamuzi ba Africa.
Kale, Professor, tweyanzizza nnyo tweyanzeege.
Kale sebo bwebale nnyo kujja.
Extra digest. Mugoba nsonga tetugenda kubanga tusuka olunaku olwaleero. Tukwatagenda tomulundi oguddako. Ibrahim Kasage manyaga njala kwebaza Daniel, Keith, Tony and Idris. Mwebale nnyo balidala. Njala kwebaza Solomon wa Kanyeihamba Foundation. I want to thank your secretary, Mole, plus the other members of the family around.
My daughter is here, and she's called Betty.
Wow.
She was born in Uganda, but I adopted her.
Oh, that's great. Special greetings to her. Kale, see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam alaikum. Katonda yebazibwe.
Amin.
Ata abakuume.
Amin atata. Kale, see you next time.